إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'd like to welcome you once again to another wonderful episode of Instructional Quran on Ummah TV, where we give you 5 instructions from the Holy Quran that we can use as benchmarks, as things to look to build our lives on, the things that we can use to improve ourselves so we can become better humans, deserving of being a better place, Al-Jannah al-Firdaus. May Allah make it easy for us to attain that. So we're going to be starting with the instructions. It's interesting to note that the Quran is a personal letter from Allah to individual, to every one of us, and it's our duty to try as much as we can to learn the words first and to use them in our daily lives. Because learning the words or reciting them for the sake of recital doesn't really make any difference if we're not willing to go the extra mile of using these things in our lives so that we can become better humans. So the importance of instructions is to be followed and utilized. Otherwise, there's no point. So may Allah make it easy for us to be able to imbibe this in our lives and move from point A to B with that, deserving of being in a better place because we become better people. Allah says in the first, do not be an advocate for deceit. It says in the glorious Quran. It says, indeed, we have revealed to you, O Muhammad, the book in truth, so you may judge between the people by that which Allah has shown you, and do not be for the deceitful an advocate. This Quran, chapter 4, verse 105. So Allah is telling the Prophet, and by extension telling every one of us, Allah has revealed the book in truth. The Quran has been revealed in truth. So that what? So that we may judge people with what is fair, with justice, with the way Allah has shown us. Allah has shown us so many things in the Quran, how, injustice can destroy the world and destroy nations, and how we must also prevent and not fall into that trap so that we don't go down the line of destructed nations. So Allah is saying, indeed, we have revealed to you, O Muhammad, the book in truth, so that you may judge between the people by that which Allah has shown you, and do not be for the deceitful and an advocate. So you mustn't be the one supporting the... So if you see someone who has done something wrong, or he's on the path of injustice, it's your right as a Muslim to stand forth and do the needful, pretty much, talk about how this is wrong, how you have to make amends, how you have to do something right about that. And that's pretty much what jihad is about. So much so that the Prophet said the best of jihad is al-kalimatul haqq inda al-malik al-kadhib. The statement of truth before a tyrant king. I can't remember the wording of the hadith perfectly, but pretty much saying the best of jihad is to be able to stand before an authority that's quite tyrannical and belligerent to the people, and that you're able to say the truth and tell, pretty much speak truth to power, like they say. Stand before them and say, well, this is what you're doing that's wrong, and I'm not going to have it. Well, I'm telling you to your face that this is not right. So that's why it's important. So we must not be advocates for the deceit or the deceitful. We must not be advocate for deceit and the deceitful. So we must not support. We see something wrong, someone is trying to deceive someone, we've got to be the ones to say, no, we do not believe in that. Whether or not the life is in danger, we've got to really stand up for truth, in whatever shades or form. The second one says, stay away from sin and aggression. The Prophet said in the popular hadith, it says, unsur akhaka zaliman aw mazloom. Say, help your brother, whether he's the one who has been the oppressor or is the one who's been oppressed. See, help him. And the Prophet said, well, we know how we're going to help the one who's been oppressed because we fight and come to his aid. How do we help someone who is the oppressor? He said, you stop him from oppressing other people. You have to stop him. You have to, and that's where jihad comes in as well. Jihad is about stopping evil from happening. So whether or not it's a brother, a relative, extended family member, or someone of the same country, or some stranger we do not know, we have got to stand forth for justice and do the right thing. And that's what's very important. So Allah says, but do not cooperate in sin and aggression, and fear Allah. Indeed, Allah is severe in penalty. Allahu shadid al-iqab. Allah is severe in penalty, but do not cooperate in sin. تعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان واتقوا الله إن الله شديد العقاب. I said, join hands on what is good, and do not join hands do not cooperate in sin and aggression, and fear Allah. Wattaqullaha inna Allaha shadidul iqab. Allah is severe in penalty and punishment. So we've got to really be wary of Allah. Allah will say in the Quran sometimes, and when I read this verse, I'm shook by it. I said, وَيُحَذِّرُكُمُ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا. Allah is warning you of Himself. وَيُحَذِّرُكُمُ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا. Allah is warning you of Himself. So Allah is the most merciful, is the most beneficent. There's nothing that comes to that. But same way also, Allah is very severe in penalty and punishment. And when Allah's punishment comes, it can be very, very severe that we cannot overcome. So we should be extra careful in incurring the wrath of Allah.